Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So we just talked about my best blind buys in the last video. I hope you watched it. If you didn't, I'm going to link it somewhere up here. Well, if we've talked about the best, let's talk about the worst, because when you blind buy, you're bound to make mistakes. It happens to all of us, Sometimes we miss with our blind buying, and it happened to me this year as well. So I'm going to share with you my worst blind buys. In fact, these are going to be my only unsuccessful blind buys. It's not that these are the worst. These are the only failed blind buys this year. As I mentioned in the previous video, I have been purchasing less, and I've definitely been purchasing a lot less blind buys, right? Most of the fragrances I try to sample first, and that's why the number of unsuccessful blind buys has diminished drastically. I'm going to shock you here. Well, I don't know. For me, this number is shocking, but I only have 4 fragrances on this list. 4. That's it. These were the only unsuccessful blind buys this year. Now, there is the 5th one that I talked about in my latest haul, but I can't really put it in the worst blind buys because I don't think it's a terrible fragrance and I don't think it's a complete fail. It's a fragrance that I'm not sure yet if I'm going to keep, but it's not quite as bad as these ones at all. It doesn't even come close. So these ones were the only true fails. And I'm going to go in order of the way that I purchased them. And for these ones, I'm actually going to read you the notes for each one of these because I've never spoken about these fragrances, just to give you kind of a better idea, of what I'm talking about. Of course, I don't have any of them anymore, so I'll be putting up pictures. And let's start with my first failed blind buy of this year. And that is Luna Dolcius, not sure how to pronounce it correctly, from Accendis. I probably butchered the name of the fragrance, the name of the house. Forgive me. I tried my best. You will see the bottle and the name on the screen. Now, I've heard good things about this fragrance. Like, this is this tropical, beachy type of scent. It's a niche fragrance. It wasn't terribly expensive. And I decided, I like this scent profile. I'm looking for something new that's kind of in that realm that, maybe has a coconut vibe. I want to try it. So I purchased it. So let's start with the notes. We have coconut, red fruits, bergamot, grapefruit, hawthorn, peony, rose, vanilla, tonka bean, musk, and cedar. I mean, the notes look nice. I think this was during the time that I was looking for a really good coconut scent, which I mentioned before. And I thought, wow, this could be the one. This scent was absolutely unbearable. It did not smell good. It really didn't. It smelled so synthetic and chemical. And it wasn't really about the coconut or red fruits or florals. I didn't really get it all. It was just the most unpleasant and chemical suntan lotion, but in the worst possible way. It just smelled unnatural. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, in general, forgive me, but this is going to be a sort of a negative video, but it's not really negative. It's just sharing my experiences with you, because if maybe you're thinking about these fragrances, so you'll know what I thought about them, so I hope you don't take it in a very negative way, but I'm going to be honest here. This one just smelled bad, really, really bad. Like, I couldn't even, sometimes I get scents that I think, okay, maybe I need to play with them a little bit. I need to explore them a little bit. I need to wear them a few more times to really understand how they smell. Maybe my nose needs to get used to them. And sometimes I try and sometimes it works, or I can at least try doing that. With this scent, no. I absolutely could not do it. It was impossible. It didn't smell good. To me, I put it away and I was able to pass it on to someone else. So this was my first big fail. Okay, next one. Comes from the House of Bond number 9. And it is New Harlem. Now, I don't own anything from Bond number 9. This was, I think, my third purchase from this house, and the first 2 didn't work for me. But I was really hoping this one would. I mean, this is kind of an OG scent for many people. People speak so highly about this scent. For a while, it was super hard to find. And when I saw it pop up on one of the discounter sites, I think it was Fragrance Buy, I decided I need to have it. I mean, people describe it as the most delicious pancakes with maple syrup. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. You know, I love gourmands. I don't really have anything that smells like this. This is going to be a winner. Well, it didn't quite turn out that way. It definitely was not a winner. So let's start with the notes. The notes are lavender, bergamot, green leaves, coffee, cedar, vanilla, patchouli, tonka bean, and amber. Now, of course, when I read the notes, right away, I was a little bit concerned about lavender because I don't like lavender in general. But, you know, people were saying you don't really get lavender. This is not about lavender. This is pancakes with maple syrup. And so I kind of decided to overlook that note and purchase it. It came. I got lavender. I got very aromatic lavender, especially in the opening, which lasted for quite some time. There was so much lavender. In fact, lavender was turning into soapy vibe. Like it was becoming soapy. I think lavender can do that if I remember correctly, but it was becoming soapy, like aromatic soapy. Yes, there was some sweetness in the background, but lavender and soapiness were overshadowing the sweetness. Wasn't exactly pancakes and maple syrup. I don't know. It was something perhaps similar to maple syrup, but it didn't matter. There was so much lavender. It was so aromatic. And then it became so soapy. It wasn't good. I mean, later on I read some people say that, you know, it was reformulated or the newer batches don't smell like the previous batches of this fragrance. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. But this is what I got. Extremely aromatic that started turning into soapy, that had some sweetness, but it didn't save the scent. There was too much lavender, way too much lavender. And I thought, okay, maybe my husband will enjoy this scent. You know, this kind of had, it reminded me of some kind of cologne, actually, to be honest. And I thought this actually smells more masculine than feminine, you know? And I thought maybe he will like it. He didn't like it either. So yeah, unfortunately, this was a huge fail. I was so disappointed. And this was my third disappointment with this house. And so I feel like maybe it's just not meant to be. I mean, in general, I'm not a fan of their bottles. So maybe we're just not meant to be friends with Bond number 9. I've kind of given up at this point trying their fragrances because so far I've had zero luck. Next one. This one I've spoken about briefly in one of my videos earlier this year. Can't remember which one. And this comes from one of my favorite houses, Gallagher, or their, I guess, sister brand, Pearlescent Perfumes, but I consider them the same. I'm talking about Tonka Zur. The reviews on this fragrance were amazing. Fruity, gourmand, even some elements of it are similar to Rosé All Day, and we all know how much I love Rosé All Day. Gallagher was having some kind of sale somewhere in the middle of this year, I don't know. And I thought, okay, I need this fragrance. I mean, it reminds people of Rosé All Day. It has like those types of elements. I love that fragrance. It's the most unique, amazing fragrance out there. It's gourmand, it's fruity. This is going to be a winner for sure. And when I got it, oh my God, the disappointment was unbelievable. I was probably more disappointed in this fragrance than any other this year. It just, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it, what people smell in it. And up to this day, all I hear are amazing reviews about this fragrance, and I just don't get it. Anyways, let's quickly look at the notes. There is blueberry, blackcurrant, champagne, tonka bean, iris, rose water, jasmine, neroli, patchouli, amber, musk, sandalwood. I mean, the notes look amazing. What's there not to love? Fruity notes, champagne, amber, sandalwood. I mean, come on. Beautiful, beautiful notes. Well, this is what I got. First when I sprayed it, there was definitely some blueberry in there. I don't know, maybe it's grapes with blackcurrant, but to me it was more like blueberry. Maybe with a little bit of sparkly nature from champagne. But almost immediately, that started turning into soap. Old bar of soap that smelled like blueberries. That's all. That's all I got. Soap. Blueberry soap. There's nothing else to add here. It was so strong. This is again one of those fragrances that I could not continue testing. I just couldn't. I couldn't stand it. I had to wash off my hand where I tried it. Not good. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Where's the gourmand nature? What are people seeing in this scent? What are they smelling? I'm jealous. I wanted this scent to work out so badly, you know? And it just, yeah, it didn't at all. At all. I didn't get it. I got rid of this scent so quickly, so quickly. And at first I thought maybe it's a problem with my skin. You know, sometimes different skins react differently to fragrances. I sprayed it on my husband. No, I got the same thing, like old bar of blueberry soap, something like that. Like, it was a total fail for me. And that brings us to the last failed blind buy of this year. And this one, I think, was really my fault. It was a risky blind buy, and I sort of got brave buying it. I'll explain in a second why. And it was a total fail. So this was a relatively new release from Electimus. It's called Aquila Absolute. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Comes in this gorgeous blue bottle. Now, I never had a chance to try it, and at the time of me ordering it, there were very few reviews about it. I was able to get it quite early when it was released. There was an opportunity to get it for a slightly lower price, you know, than retail, and I just thought I really want to try it. Why? Well, one, I've had amazing luck with Electimus. I have 3 full bottles from them, which I absolutely love. So that's number one. Number two, not long before this, I purchased Venom Incarnate from Stefan Humber Lucas, which has leather and fruity notes. And I love that scent. And this one, Aquila Absolute, if you look at the nose, has a lot of similar elements. There are fruits in there, red berries, and there is leather. And I thought, I'm getting along with leather these days. I love fruits. This is going to be good. And I ordered it. So again, let's start by looking at the notes. The notes are raspberry, cardamom, rose, geranium, white oud, violet leaf, leather, labdanum, patchouli. So what I was picturing in my head was something similar to Venom Incarnate, like sweet, juicy raspberry with a little bit of leather. It would have a bit more spiciness because there is like cardamom in here, geranium, and maybe it would have a bit of more earthiness from like patchouli, white oud. That's what I was imagining. When I got this scent, it was something totally different. Now, I did not get raspberry at all. There was no fruitiness for me at all. The scent was very linear, very simple, very, very masculine, extremely masculine. Basically, what I got was leather, a little bit of oud, and a lot of patchouli. So really, mostly it was leather and patchouli. A little bit of geranium as well, perhaps. That's it. That's it. And it stayed like that for me from beginning till the end. Nothing changed. And I was so patient with this scent. I tested it on me multiple times. I tested it on my husband. This was the scent that, like, it wasn't repulsive to me, but it just wasn't what I wanted, wasn't what I liked, wasn't what I expected. And I was patient with it. I tested it multiple times on me. I tested it multiple times on my husband. I let it stand for a while. I just kept it. You know, usually if I really don't like something, I try to get rid of it right away. This one, no, I kept it for a while and I came back to it and I thought maybe it just needs some time to stand around and mature. Maybe it will change. And unfortunately, no, nothing helped. I mean, it stayed exactly the same. Linear, extremely masculine, not what I like. Like I said, not repulsive, but just not what I like. It was leather and patchouli, mostly. Maybe with a little bit of geranium and white oud added in. That's it. So to me, the notes did not correspond to what I was smelling at all. Well, not at all. It's just that fruity element was missing completely for me, completely. I did not get a raspberry at all. If I didn't know it was there, I would have never guessed. So unfortunately, the beautiful blue bottle had to go. I no longer have it. And this was my last unsuccessful blind buy of this year. So, you know, I'm trying to avoid these types of mistakes in the future. I'm definitely going to cut back even more on blind buying until I can eliminate it completely or very close to completely, you know, because I don't want to make these expensive mistakes, you know. Like I said, they're hard to pass on after I get them these days. So yeah, but I am still proud that there were only 4 failed blind buys in the whole year. I think that's pretty good, but I'm going to aim to do even better next year. So I would love to know, have you had any failed blind buys this year? If you did, please share them with me. And if you didn't, tell me that as well. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and to comment. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.